So, 2007, we had already gotten to the point where our euthanasia was down 70% since 2000, and that's when we applied for the Maddie's Fund grant. I thought that was pretty impressive. That was, I'm talking right now not about the coalition, but about the SPCA. We average 375 medical treatments per month. In other words, 375 patients a month. 15 dentals per month, this was in 2008. 15 dentals per month. Today, we do 10 to 15 dentals a week. That's because we've got so many older animals up for adoption, and they all need dentistries before they go home. We opened the Mall Adoption Center, and the day we opened the Mall Adoption Center was the day we could say we would never have to euthanize another pet. And let me tell you how that happened. Remember when I was talking about honesty earlier? July of 2008, we hadn't euthanized a single healthy pet. And it had gotten to the point, I think it was July 28th, maybe it was 2007, I can't remember. We had to euthanize cats. We euthanized 4 of them. We just didn't have any more room. We'd finally hit that wall. There just was no other place. And it was killing my staff. They'd worked so hard all year long, and we had to euthanize these cats. And I called the newspaper, and I called a columnist there, and I asked him to come out, that I wanted him to do a story on the fact that the SPCA just euthanized some animals, and that we needed the help of the community to make sure this didn't continue. We were sick and tired of having to euthanize animals at the SPCA because we'd run out of options. And he came out, and the next day I got a phone call from somebody asking to see me. He came in and he said, I will give you lots of money if you don't euthanize any more animals. I said, well, it's not the money I need. I need something else. And he said, well, how about if we rent a warehouse and you just put them in there, you know? It's like, well, I know you're trying to save lives. That doesn't exactly sound right. Let me get back to you. So I thought about it all night, and I thought, well, if we're going to warehouse them, let's warehouse them at the mall and see what happens, you know? And I called him back and I said, will you fund us to go into the mall? And we did. Our pilot project was 6 weeks, and it was so successful that we went back and opened it full time and got grants to do that. And so it's really been wonderful. And you know, it's expensive. Okay, it costs a lot of money to run this. I need a staff out there. I need to pay the rent. And it's all driven through grants now, because I have something else I can ask people for money for that they can see, they can touch, and they can see the results. So don't think you can't do it. Second poorest city, third poorest city in the country, we are coming up in the world. So we also, now, when we opened it full time, we started having all our partners have a cage. So the SPCA has most of the cages, but there is a cage for every single one of our partners. So they don't have to pay any rent, they don't have to pay any staff, they don't have to volunteer, they just have to get their cats there, that's all, and then we take care of everything else. So in 2009, Maddie's funded the Pet Rescue Project in Erie County, and we treated 87% of all the treatable and manageable cats and dogs at our SPCA, not the community, but just at our SPCA. And then in 2010, our SPCA reached 91% of the treatables and manageables, and in our community coalition it was 65%. So we did it. So again, same thing, planning and patience, good public relations, active development team, plenty of volunteers, coalition building, good data, progressive veterinarians, very important, and access to low-cost sterilization services. I think that's it.